I'm debating these sons of bitches. I'm out there on these right-wing shows, so I'm not scared to do that. Where the hell is the Democratic Party? Where's our equivalent of Turning Point USA?
Newsom's team doubled down, repeating the snack-size slap on X. Joe Rogan is a snack-sized podcaster who can't stop talking about me. Obsessed? Crush? No thank you. But is too scared to have me on and let his audience hear the truth.
Talking some shit on Twitter.
I know, it's like, you think that's gonna work? Like, that's so stupid. Like, this is such a bad look.
Yeah.
It's such a bad choice.
There's a little desperation in it.
But it's just stupid.
The clash between Joe Rogan and California Governor Gavin Newsom is heating up fast. Ever since Rogan left California, he's made it clear he blames Newsom for driving the Golden State into the ground. You'd think leaving would cool things off, but instead, Rogan has only turned up the heat. His latest criticism was brutal, and Newsom fired back just as hard. Buckle up.
Well, you start with Joe Rogan, so I'm going to start cursing.
He wants to be president so bad.
The governor of the most populous state and the host of one of the most popular podcasts are feuding.
This is Gavin Newsom.
California Governor Gavin Newsom, who hosts his own podcast, has invited Joe Rogan onto his show and publicly asked to be invited onto Rogan's show.
Joe, why won't you have me on the show? He won't have me on the show. It's a one way. And he has guests coming and attacking and bashing, but he will not have me on the show, period. Full stop. He should have me on the show. Come on my show.
For years, Gavin Newsom has tried getting Joe Rogan on his show. He's challenged him publicly, extended invitations, and even suggested a live debate to settle their feud. Yet Rogan keeps dodging it, whether by strategy, disinterest, or simply refusing to give Newsom more visibility. No one knows for sure, but one thing is certain. If Rogan ever agrees to face him, it would break the internet. With the way tensions are rising, it's starting to feel less like if and more like when.
But Rogan doesn't seem impressed by a potential Newsom presidential run in 2028.
You can't ruin a city and then go on to ruin a state and say, guys, that was just practice.
I know.
Once I get it as a president, I'm going to fix it. Fix it all.
I mean, it's so crazy, but he's such a great politician. I mean,
No,
he's
not.
so smooth.
He's
You
not,
don't think
though.
so?
No, I think he's terrible.
Rogan attacking Newsom's job performance in California.
You have the highest unemployment.
Yeah.
You have the highest homelessness.
Look what they did with Hollywood.
Money's missing. You killed Hollywood. Like,
know.
Hollywood doesn't exist anymore. It's literally gone.
Newsom responding to Rogan on X, posting California is the fourth largest economy in the world, but number one in manufacturing, farming, new business starts, tech and VC investments, Fortune 500 companies, public higher education. I could continue. Invite me on anytime, Joe Rogan.
It was all that before you were there. It was all that forever. It's because the weather's perfect, man. It has nothing to do with you.
To many who remember the old California, Rogan's criticism hits home. Before Newsom took the reins, the state was thriving. Hollywood booming, tech exploding, beaches clean, and opportunity everywhere. It was a place people dreamed of moving to, not running from. But according to Rogan, that California no longer exists. He says Newsom has allowed crime, homelessness, and collapsing infrastructure to turn the state into a cautionary tale instead of a dream. What was once a symbol of American ambition, he argues, is now an example of failed leadership.
His team posting this photo on X, writing that, quote, little Joe is snack size because he can't handle full-size debates.
I'm not afraid to go. I'm punching Joe Rogan, okay? I'm not used to that. And he's going to dismiss it. He's going to laugh it off. I mean, tough guy, all that. But he's going to have me on.
When Newsom realized Rogan wasn't biting, no interviews, no debates, no podcast invite, he switched strategies. Polite invitations turned into provocation. He tossed jabs at Rogan during press briefings, mocking his credibility and dismissing him as nothing more than an entertainer. His team pushed memes and sarcastic posts to rile Rogan up, but the plan flopped. Rogan didn't respond, not even once. To him, this was just another politician chasing clout. And sometimes silence lands harder than any comeback.
It's a way that Republicans are just using illegal immigrants to deflect the conversation.
And the answer
is yes.
No, it is
it's yes.
not.
Because
refuse to look at the facts.
illegal immigrants are not the reason why our healthcare system is broken.
Yeah, it's not deflection at all. In fact, I brought receipts. So here's the CMS, the Center for Medicaid and Medicare Services, right here with their press release earlier this year saying they were having to increase their oversight on states like California who were abusing Medicaid and classifying it as an EUSA, an emergency system, when it wasn't. You've got the average state spends 5% of its Medicaid roughly on emergency services. California, 35 to 40%. Why would that be? Because California passed a state law that says we will fund Medicaid for illegal.
Newsom has poured billions into California's Medicaid system, largely tied to his sanctuary city policies. By openly welcoming undocumented migrants, he turned California into a refuge, praised by supporters as compassionate, condemned by critics as reckless. Naturally, more arrivals meant more pressure. Overcrowded hospitals, strained public services, and rising taxpayer costs became impossible to ignore. What started as humanitarian policy, Rogan and others argue, has become a financial burden slowly cracking the state's foundation.
Talking some on Twitter.
I know, it's like, you think that's gonna work? Like, that's so stupid. Like, this is such a bad look. It's such a bad choice.
There's a little desperation in it.
But it's just stupid. It's like, this is a bad strategy. Like, I probably would have had him on.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, nah, what are you doing?
There is a fun version where you just do it and cook them. You know?
He'll cook himself.
It's no wonder Rogan wants nothing to do with Newsom. The governor's approach hasn't just missed the mark. It's come off as desperate. Instead of taking the high road, Newsom keeps taking shots online, trying to bait Rogan into a reaction. Every few weeks, there's another jab disguised as clever political humor. But Rogan's entire brand is authenticity, not petty theatrics. And if you're trying to land an interview with one of the biggest podcasters on earth, trolling him publicly is the worst strategy imaginable. Newsom keeps acting like volume equals influence, but Rogan sees straight through that. When a politician tries too hard, it stops looking strategic and starts looking needy. And nothing turns Rogan off faster than someone chasing relevance through his name.
Governor Newsom has repeatedly said that Democrats need to do a much better job attracting men, especially young men who are often drawn to podcasts. And Aaron, nobody does that better than Joe Rogan. His interview with then candidate Trump last year got 60 million views on YouTube alone.
It's obvious why Newsom wants that Rogan interview so badly. This isn't about conversation. It's about exposure. Rogan's audience is massive, diverse, and filled with young men drifting away from the Democratic Party's shifting identity. These are voters the DNC desperately needs to win back. Sitting across from Rogan would give Newsom direct access to millions and a chance to reshape his national image. And let's be honest, Newsom's ambitions extend far beyond California. With eyes on the White House, he knows the Rogan platform can reshape a political career overnight. One viral moment could change the narrative around him instantly. And Newsom understands that Rogan's show isn't just media. It's a cultural megaphone that defines who's rising and who's fading.
It was never on my bingo card. I didn't grow up saying, one day I'll be this person. It's not a photo on the wall of me meeting someone.
There are people that think that you were that way back in the day.
I think well, that's a whole deeper conversation of perception versus reality. And I have a lot of work to do on that. And I'm going to be doing a little more of that with this book. And now it sounds like, oh, here, he's got a book. Of course he's running. Yeah. But truly, I've got a book that I'm putting out early next year, that I've been working on for 4 or 5 years, because I can't take the perception of me versus the reality of what I experienced growing up and in my own childhood and my own experiences. So I'm trying to shapeshift that from my perspective, not everyone.
When it comes to California under Newsom, perception isn't the problem, reality is. A once golden state now feels worn down. Streets littered with trash, tent cities everywhere, rising crime, and small businesses barely surviving. Basic public services are buried under layers of red tape that leave residents drained and frustrated. Californians aren't judging Newsom by ideology anymore. They're judging results. And the results have been rough. From the housing crisis to businesses fleeing the state, the California dream is slipping away, and fast.
What's the biggest misconception about you?
I just think this notion, I don't know where, I know where it comes from, but I think this notion of the silver spoon, I was born into great wealth and privilege, and it's quite the contrary. And I'm not trying to, it's not a racial algebra story, I'm not trying to over-romanticize a contra narrative, but it's remarkable how that perception has dominated so much of the conversation that even my friends have about me. They don't know much about me. And so just for the record, setting it straight for my kids and grandkids, I'm going to be pushing back in that respect.
Newsom often leans on the classic political backstory, the tale of humble beginnings meant to connect him with everyday Americans. It's a familiar move. Paint yourself as someone who understands struggle. But critics say the story doesn't match reality. Newsom has long been linked to one of California's most influential and wealthy families. So when he talks about hardship, many see it as a manufactured narrative meant to win sympathy, not something grounded in his real life.
Obviously, 2024 was a federal election, but the Biden administration said DOJ monitors to 87 different jurisdictions in that election. The California GOP put up this onto X, saying, Governor, if there's nothing to hide or nothing wrong, why the concern in having the DOJ observe? What's wrong with transparency?
Let's transparency. Let's have the transparency what went into their request, allegedly, of the Department of Justice, the state GOP, and why they picked these particular 5 counties. And what allegations or what assertions and on what basis of fact are they asserting that there's been violations in the past? Why these counties? Why now? Why a statewide election? Very different than other federal elections or elections with candidates on the ballot. This is, again, a proposition.
It's simple. The Department of Justice doesn't jump into county oversight without reason. If they're looking into 5 counties, something triggered concern. Maybe irregular voting data, maybe procedural errors. Whatever it is, it raised alarms. If Newsom truly has nothing to hide, he should welcome the oversight. Letting the DOJ investigate would strengthen his credibility, not weaken it. But pushing back only fuels suspicion, suggesting there may be more beneath the surface than he wants the public to see.
Good people can disagree. They'll be accommodated as everyone should be accommodated. They'll have determinations at the county level with the registrars to the extent they want to cooperate. That's up to them. I'm just arguing for people to keep their eyes wide open at what's going on in the United States of America. I said this months and months ago. What's happening in LA, what's happened in California is a preview of things to come. Watch this space with the DOJ. This is all teed up 2026. Donald Trump does not believe in fair and free elections.
ICE's actions in Los Angeles and other cities weren't about targeting ordinary people. They focused on removing offenders tied to drugs, gangs, and serious threats. Legal residents had nothing to worry about. But those in the country illegally, especially with criminal ties, were in the spotlight. Former ICE Director Tom Homan defended the mission as necessary law enforcement meant to protect communities and ease the strain on public systems. In the end, Rogan's feud with Newsom goes far deeper than personality. Rogan represents the frustration of residents who fled California. Newsom represents the establishment struggling to defend its record. From sanctuary policies to homelessness and crumbling cities, the results speak louder than the talking points. And unless the state's decline is reversed, no podcast appearance, not even Rogan's, can rewrite the truth. The Golden State's shine is fading. And that's where we wrap today's video. If you enjoyed it, hit like and subscribe for more content.